against the acceleration that had broken the world before. Among the writings later called the Dead Sea Scrolls, there are rules, not for belief, but for behavior. Because belief could lie, structure could not. They believed corruption was contagious, a single lie tolerated, a single indulgence excused, a single secret protected. That was all it took, so they confessed openly, corrected publicly, and removed those who would not submit to the order, not out of cruelty, but fear that history was watching. They did not seek converts, they waited for survivors, those who sensed the world was out of balance, those who felt time speeding up, those who believed the war beneath history was nearing exposure. They prepared not for victory, but for endurance. They believed the final age would not reward the powerful, but the precise, not the loud, but the disciplined. And when Rome approached, they did not fight. They hid their writings, not because they were afraid of death, but because memory was heavier than life. The scrolls were sealed. The community vanished. But the attempt remained. History remembers their disappearance as failure. The scrolls suggest otherwise. They did not stop time. They slowed it, just long enough for memory to survive. Sometimes the greatest resistance is refusing to become what the world rewards. The world learned to wait for one savior. The scribes never did. They wrote something far more unsettling, that no single man could heal a fractured age. Among the writings later called the Dead Sea Scrolls, there is no promise of a lone redeemer descending to end history in a moment. Instead, there are roles, functions, responsibilities divided. Because the world itself was divided, they expected a priestly Messiah, one who would restore what had been polluted, not power, but order, not spectacle, but purity, a keeper of boundaries in a world addicted to excess. They also expected a royal Messiah, a ruler, yes, but not a conqueror, a judge restrained by law, a king accountable to memory, authority without arrogance, a crown heavy enough to prevent haste, and beyond these they anticipated a prophetic voice, not to rule, not to purify, but to expose, to speak what could not be enforced, to name corruption without offering comfort, a voice that would not survive the power, only truth. The scribes believed history failed because it demanded everything from one figure, priest, king, judge, savior, a burden no